YouTube, what's going on, baby? It's your boy Ron Real, aka Double R, back in the building, back with another video, back with another banger. Today we got a very special treat for you guys. I know you see my special guest over here today. We are going to be looking at February 2021's Wine of the Month pick and Cigar of the Month pick. So you guys hang tight, stay tuned, we'll tell you about it. All right, so we are here with my good friend, Mr. Jeff Howell, owner of Yorkshire Liquor Store here in Memphis, Tennessee. You guys know that is where I am from. That is where I do all of my shopping, from my wine, spirits, all my good stuff like that. We have been talking for quite a few months, trying to get together on camera to do particular pairings and things like that. Finally worked out for us today. So we got a very special treat for you guys. We are gonna be featuring a wine that we are both very big fans of. Actually, he is the one that told me about this wine many months ago. Finally got a chance to try it a couple months back in a different vintage. Really enjoyed it, so wanted to take a look at the 2019. But without further ado, I'll let Jeff kind of formally introduce himself to you guys out there in the Ron Real TV community.
Thanks for having me today, Ron. Really appreciate that. As you said, my name is Jeff Howell. I'm the owner of Yorkshire Liquors here in Memphis, Tennessee. Good buddies with Ron. We picked a wine that neither one of us have yet had. We're both fans of the previous vintage. My wife and I are super big fans of this. It's a Paso Robles Cab, Austin Hope 2019, just released, and we're excited to try it.
Definitely, and that's another thing too. Speaking about this wine, you guys know for more recently I've been drinking a lot more port wines, but as you guys know, I'm a very big Cabernet Sauvignon fan. Got a chance to try the 2018 vintage, and quite frankly, it's probably a top 5 Cabernet I've ever had in my life. So when I recently saw that this vintage was out, I said this is going to be definitely the first wine I want to feature for the wine of the month. So that is what we're going to do. Speaking on the cigar, we're going to be looking at the HVC Serie A in Spanish is horrible, man. Let me look at this real quick. Canones. I know, don't get me too bad in the comment section. Canones, 5.5 by 54 ring gauge, Nicaraguan Puro. As you guys know, I'm a huge HVC fan. I like this. It also comes in a Robusto, which is limited to the store in Hawaii with Mr. Chang. But the two more common sizes that you'll see is the Canyana. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. And the Perla, which is a 5 5/8 by 46 ring gauge. So I'm a very big fan of both of these cigars. They come in 10 count boxes. Not very expensive at all. You can find both of these for under $100 a box of cigars. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up smoking this cigar, telling you guys some flavor notes about it, why I chose to pick it for February. Me and Jeff are gonna crack this bottle of Cabernet open and tell you about it too. So without further ado, we're gonna get into party time, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this cigar up and let Jeff tell you a little bit more information about the Austin Hope family. So
Austin Hope family has been making wines, particularly cabs, since the 1970s in California. This actual bottle they've been making for a couple years now. Last couple years, it's made Wine Enthusiast top 10.
Very high rating. Very
highly rated, over 95 points for the last 4 years in a row, all the way up to 97. This one is yet to be rated. Like I said, it just released.
We'll rate it today.
Yeah, we're gonna give it our own rating. The previous vintages have been very good. We're excited to try it.
Yeah, so Jeff too, I was gonna say, you know, this is one of those things, like me and Jeff have been longtime friends. We got really close through bourbon. As you guys know, I'm a very big bourbon guy. Kind of slowed down more recently. Been dabbling more in wine, scotches, and rums, but he's always been giving me recommendations over the years. They've always been solid. And for whatever reason, you know, over the years, I've also drank wine too, but not as more intensely or not as frequent as I am now. But he's referenced this wine to me in the past probably 2 or 3 years, and I just have always overlooked it. Finally, one day walked in there, picked up the 2018 vintage, and was really blown away with it. So shame on me, Jeff. I should have took your advice a lot sooner. But
it's all good.
All right, well, you crack that bottle open, we can see what we got.
Let's do it.
So the cigar is a pretty traditional Nicaraguan cigar. We got a nice triple cap on this, or I say nice, a little sloppy. Got some tight invisible seams on it. Are some veins present, but it's pressed down. Nothing too crazy. The band is very, we'll get some B-roll of that, of course, and show you guys. I actually like the band, but it's very simple. And this is just a really good anytime, everyday kind of cigar for me. Retail on this one's $9.60, but again, I've seen boxes of these going for around $85 or $90. The Austin Hope runs around
$59.99.
$59.99. And that was another thing I wanted to mention to you too, Jeff. So most of the time, I'm gonna be quite honest, when I was searching for wines, you know me, I was always around that $30 and under for a bottle, which not to take anything away from those bottles, there's still a lot of really good wines in that $30 and under category. But jumping up to this, maybe it was the Oysters Creek, a few other wines that are up in that $60, $70 range. In my mind, initially, I was thinking, well, once you open a bottle of wine, you only have so long to drink it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $60 or $70 on a bottle of wine, and then, you know, in 2 or 3 days, it goes bad on me. So I did what, never mind, I'm not gonna call myself that, but I did what a lot of people did now, open it up, just drink it right away. But you can definitely tell the difference in quality when you jump up. So don't be afraid of that, especially if you are a frequent or real wine drinker. Don't mind jumping up an extra $20 or $30 and treating yourself every now and then. I don't think enough people treat themselves, so.
I agree totally. It's, you know, it's not something that the average person can daily drink, but you get out of that $15 to $20 range and you jump up to something like this. For the money, this drink's every bit as good as some $100 cabs.
Yes. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to throw any shade in them, but they make great wine. But I was talking to Thomas, this goes neck and neck with it, and it's double the price of it.
Yeah, it's it drinks above its price point for sure.
Got that fudge chocolate taste I always get. A little bit of berry fruitiness on it too. Some pepper. All right. I'll light this up after I take me a little sip and see what we got. I'm actually really excited about this because I'm telling you guys, I liked it 2018 that much. I was even, Nikki even tried some and really enjoyed it too. And for those that really don't know my wife in detail, she's not a very big traditional wine drinker. Been kind of slowly over the years converting her over from more Moscato and, you know, all this stuff like that. So she even tried this and was a really big fan. She also liked the Oysters Creek too. So I was really surprised by it.
You know, when you get good quality cabs, higher end wines, even the novice can really appreciate it.
Yes.
First nose, it is a little bit tighter than the 2018 that has been out for a little bit.
Still, man, just
still
really so fruit forward, man.
Very fruity and juicy.
Yep. I don't pick up a lot of tannins on the nose. Sometimes you can get that dryness and that you can just tell it's gonna be real tannic. Good legs on there.
It's very juicy, very lots of dark fruit, blackberry, jammy.
It's
I
good.
like it.
This is good.
Yeah.
It's just, if it makes sense for me, and maybe time is gonna change it a little bit, it's so forward and so juicy on the very front, and then it just kind of, I'm still getting it, but that first initial pop is like, wow, like.
It's definitely got lots of fruit forward in this. Rolls across the palate really well. It's silky smooth, not a lot of tannins, as evidence of the nose as well. It's drinking really nice.
It is.
Especially the first crack.
Yeah, this, you know, like I said, there are some really good wines in that under $30 range, but I can just tell, like you said, it's and I like tannins, but a lot of people run away from them. They don't like them. Also, another thing I wanted to mention too, this wine, as I was recommending for you guys on a couple of videos before, this is at room temperature. You want to be really careful about that. When you start jumping into your really big reds that kind of get around that 15-16% ABV, you want to get really close to room temperature, because if you drink them too chilled, those tannins will just shock your taste buds. You're not going to get that fruitiness. You're not going to get that fullness. And I see a lot of people making that mistake with drinking red wines just really cold or chilled, and I just think that you're losing so much out on it, especially when you start spending $60, $70 on a bottle. You want to get everything out of that bottle. So
really opens up the more closer to room temperature they are. A little chilled is actually okay.
Right.
About 64 is a perfect temperature.
Yep.
So if you do want it a little bit chilled, throw it in the fridge for like 5-10 minutes. Don't get it super cold.
Right.
have it just the edge knocked off of it, and it's perfect.
Because looking over here, so I keep my reds around 56, but normally when I pull them out, like Jeff said, I'll leave them in ambient room air for 30, 45 minutes or whatever. And I at least want it to where I can touch the bottle. It's not really cold to my hands, and that's when you know, like, all right, I'm in good shape. So, but so far, what do you think honestly right now compared to 18?
It's still a little bit tight.
I would agree.
Like I said, this vintage just released 2 weeks ago. This is brand new to the market.
Might be literally the first video online with the 2019 vintage.
I mean, I haven't looked, but very well possibly could be. I think that a little bit of time and a little bit of air on these glasses, get a little cigar smoke going on, it'll open up even more.
The bones are there though.
Absolutely.
The bones are definitely there.
The structure's there. I would be very surprised if this is not another mid to high 90s point rated wine. Very well. I mean, it's early. Could make top 10 lists again.
And now, I'm feeling like I'm starting to become, I hate the word snob, but I feel like I'm trying to become how big we were in the bourbon is.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shifting my talents over to wine. So who knows, I might try to go to sommelier school or something like that. Because I think it's really interesting to go or to find out or taste all these different wines. Just like how it is with cigars, you taste things from different regions, and it's just kind of interesting to me how different soils and temperature and climate can affect, essentially the same kind of thing. So
absolutely, it really does. You can really geek out on all the details, and it's fun. You should try it yourself, really. Something else I want to touch base with on all this while you're getting your cigar lit up. Some food pairings, lean meats, lean red meats specifically. I would say filet mignon, lamb chops, probably even hold up to gamier meats like venison or duck.
Yep.
Absolutely, this is not something that you have to eat a full-blown meal with. Pair it with a charcuterie board, absolutely. Dark chocolate, 70% cacao or better.
That's gonna be what I'm gonna be doing.
Yep.
Especially with cigars, if the nicotine starts hitting me too bad, I pick up some chocolate with this. That'll be good.
Yeah.
We were saying chocolates. Now, we're gonna hypothetically speak now.
Yep.
If I'm just, all right, man, I don't eat all that fancy dark chocolate, cacao, and all this stuff. I just want a Twix bar or what if they're
100%. Ready for the curveball? M&Ms.
just regular M&Ms?
Regular old M&Ms, man. They got the dark chocolate in the middle. They got the candy coating on top. It's something that you won't hear people say pair a wine with M&Ms.
Okay. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I might see it on the next video. I'm gonna grab me a bag of regular M&Ms, and that's me venturing away from my peanut and peanut butter M&Ms. I love those, but I'll go ahead and do the regular M&Ms, and I'll definitely try that.
I kind of regret that I didn't stop at a convenience store and pick up some M&Ms just for that. Should have done it.
So on the cigar, getting a real nice intense black pepper on the beginning, getting some nice leather notes, earth. There is a natural tobacco sweetness here too. Not anything overly complex or overly crazy, but it just tastes very good. But just be careful if you're not really used to retrohaling cigars. Probably is not one you want to retro right off the bat if you're not used to it. I know it's kind of funny. I'll watch some guys so there's this thing, and I know Jeff's not a cigar smoker at all. I need to be getting back in the gym too. Fitness guru, man. He's making me look bad over here, but there's a thing I always say with cigar reviewers that I feel like, so it's almost like if I was a wine connoisseur and I didn't nose drams. It just makes no sense. So for me, I feel like a retrohale is just as important, and that's when you're expelling the smoke out of your nose to engage your olfactory senses with your mouth to, when people nose, they open their mouth to get everything. So I watch reviewers all the time and they don't retrohale, and I feel like to me they're doing a disservice to the product and the community because you're not really giving that product a full chance, or you're not being able to describe the product in its entirety when you're not retrohaling. So it's just funny to me that I kind of started this thing that said don't trust cigar reviewers that don't retrohale, and it became a whole.
Well, you got to get the full effect. So to that effect, for the novice wine drinker out there that's watching this review, when you nose this wine, you definitely want to make sure that you have your nose over the glass and your mouth open when you inhale. to get the full effect, the full smell.
And that's a trick that I learned, and I didn't nose like that for a long time. But again, YouTube, Google's your best friend. I think I was watching Liquor Hound when I was really big into bourbon. He's got a huge bourbon channel, and I would always see him in between him talking, he would have his mouth open, and it was almost like he was tasting the air and I was just looking. And so I tried it, and it actually works because all that system, they work when they're working together. They work better. Same thing as if you're blowing out cigar smoke and you're not engaging your olfactory senses. It's a lot of stuff you're gonna miss out on. So definitely when you're nosing your wines, you're nosing bourbons, anything like that, even you don't have to have your mouth wide open like you're snoring or something, but just kind of crack it open just to see if it changes anything. But
it absolutely will. How's it pairing with the wine?
It's really good. The pepper on the cigar is working really well with this. And even though I'm getting some natural tobacco sweetness from the cigar, the jamminess and the fruitiness of this is just really good. You know what though? But I'm gonna be honest. Unless it's probably a Connecticut shade or a really, really mild cigar, anything medium to full and on up, this is gonna be a pretty universal pair. It's that good, man. And the tannins aren't there, so it's not really throwing anything off either. So I'm like you, I think it's gonna score well.
So this has been open a couple minutes now. I've tried it a couple different times while it's been open, while we've been talking here. The green is blowing off the top of it already a little bit. It's still there. I mean, you can't deny that. It's already blowing off the top of it.
It's already just changing in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna open up very good.
I almost feel like I got tea on this too. Definitely green tea leaves. Reminds me of a Cuban tea leaf kind of almost, but don't mistake that when I mention tea and Cuban cigars, because there's a definite smoothness of those Cubans. This is a little rough, man. This is gonna wake those sinuses up if you aren't used to it. I can sit here and smell this all day though. This is
something else we didn't talk about. I just thought about is the color.
Yes.
So color of the grapes and color of the wine. This is dark ruby.
I was gonna
garnet.
say real dark ruby. Yep.
It's got a great color. You can't see all the way through it when you hold it into the light.
Very nice legs on it too.
Yep.
Very nice legs.
Something we completely missed on
and as you say, that's it, man. We got dark. I was thinking about this. I said, you know, you're gonna have a snob out there, man. They ain't even saying nothing about the color.
Yeah, I'm professional in that I've been in the business for a while, but I'm not a professional wine reviewer.
Yeah.
I'm just an average Joe that loves wine, bourbon, spirits.
Same here. Didn't go to school for anything, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I know a good bottle of wine when I taste it. I know a good cigar when I smoke it. That's what I can tell you. All right, well, we're gonna kick back, enjoy this bottle a little bit more. I'm gonna smoke through this cigar, so y'all hang tight, and we'll come back if we got anything else. I'll let you know how this pairing's going, so y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're coming back with this wine of the month pick and cigar of the month pick. Been really enjoying this HVC Serie A. As you guys can tell, the intermission probably lasted a lot longer than normal, but we've been enjoying the wine. I've been enjoying the cigar. The conversation's been good. The draw and the performance on this thing has been very, very nice. You're still picking up a lot of nice leather, nice natural tobacco sweetness. You're getting a little bit of cedar in there, some black pepper. Very good flavors on this one. Forgot to mention also in that first third, probably a textbook medium for body flavor and strength, and it's just kind of gradually went up on everything except for the strength. It's still not a very strong cigar to me, but the flavor and the body has slowly increased up. Just a really nice pairing partner with this wine. As I said earlier, I think for any medium full and full body cigar, this wine is gonna be perfect. Again, not probably the most optimal price point for everybody, as Jeff mentioned earlier. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna drink every day, but hey, if you don't mind, or if you drink on weekends and you want a nice bottle sitting by the fire or something like that, this is gonna be really nice for you. Price point on this again runs right around $10. So you're looking at that $9.60 price point. Boxes of 10, I think, I haven't scored this yet, but I would say that this is a box worthy cigar. For me, I would always keep a box in the humidor to smoke and enjoy. But Jeff, what do you got to say about the wine?
The wine's really been showing out. Surprised actually. Still a little tight, still a little green. Can't deny that. But blackberry is my overall note. Black currant, a little bit of pepper, not a lot. It's really drinking well for such a quote young.
Yes.
Still 2019, but it's opened up nicely as we've been sitting here sipping on it and really enjoying it. I think I really think that it's still going to be mid to upper 90s score.
Yes.
Overall from everyone.
And even though with me being a wine connoisseur in quotation marks that likes a lot of tannins too, if you are a wine drinker that likes heavy tannins, really heavy, bold cabs, this is one that's gonna be that happy medium. This is gonna be that wine, or this is gonna be that cab that people that aren't really into tannins or people that like tannins can kind of sit at the table and both enjoy. This has been really good. The nose on this is, like you said, very blackberry, very jam forward. It's really, really, really pleasant. So you guys hadn't seen it in a while. We haven't been really doing a whole lot of pairings in the past year or so, but you guys know I'm finna get ready to do the marriage. So y'all know what time it is. For those that are just checking out the channel, this is called the marriage. I got this from Puro Maduro. What I'm doing here is imparting the flavors from the cigar and mixing it with the flavors from the wine. So we're gonna get the essence of Paso Robles with Nicaragua. Let's see what we got. Some nice thick coating there. Let that hang for a minute. That's good, man. That's good.
Not my speed, not my style, but I can certainly appreciate it. I can get down with it.
Oh, that's good. You know, we were talking about that off camera too. You got a lot of more expensive wines, but pound for, you know, well, on this channel, we're all about pound for pound. Pound for pound, I think this could hang with bottles easily double the price point of it. It's just
for the money, it's really hard to beat.
It's gonna be hard to beat it.
I mean, it's just, we're being honest here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Probably one you'll see in the future too. Now, when we do these wine of the month picks, they're not gonna always be really expensive bottles, but I know one, I kept saying, what was it? I kept saying Oyster Creek.
Yeah, it's Oyster Ridge.
Oyster Ridge.
Yep.
Oyster Ridge is the Cabernet that you'll probably see featured as well. I also wanna get with you and do that Malbec too.
Oh, Acaval Ferrer.
Yes.
It's one of my, probably the best $30 bottle
Yes.
in my store.
Yes.
I stand by that. It is another one just like this, vintage after vintage after vintage has drank well above its price point, and it's fantastic bottle of wine. I think
Yes.
it'll really hold up to some cigars as well.
It does. I've already went through a couple of bottles. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and score the cigar, and then we'll talk more about where we think that the wine rates as far as. So let me get my numbers together. For the flavor, let me see what we got. Let me see. All right, so for flavor, I'll give this a 17 out of 20. Flavors were really good, definitely above average. Nothing phenomenal, but they're really good, definitely above average flavor profile. For draw, I gave it a 20 out of 20. Burn, a 20 out of 20. Complexity, I'm gonna give it a 16 out of 20. And strength, I'm gonna give it a 16 out of 20. So we're gonna get an overall score of an 89 out of 100. Right there too. Not elite for me, but it's a really, really good cigar. Something I would never have a problem picking up if somebody gave me one of these. Fantastic cigar. I'm gonna say the other size that it comes in, the Perla, which is a 5 5/8 by 46 ring gauge, I probably would bump the because I've smoked these a lot. Probably would bump the complexity up a point or two, and that would make that an elite cigar. So if you're on the fence about which one to buy, I would say probably try the La Perla first, but this is not a slouch either. These both are really, really good cigars. So 89 out of 100 for me, great cigar. As far as the wine, you guys know I don't have a rating scale for it, but I'm gonna say this is an elite wine for me. This is definitely above average, and this is an elite wine where Jeff hit it on the head earlier too, that you don't have to be a wine connoisseur or a wine lover to appreciate this is a good bottle. You can strip the labels off of it, pick it up, and if I give you a glass, you'll say that this is good. So to me, that stands the real test that, hey, a connoisseur, sommelier, novice, beginner, anybody can enjoy this bottle. Another thing what really caught my eye on this one is the red foil around it, and just the label of it is just very majestic, very classy. It's a really good representation. Austin, Hope, you guys are killing it. To be honest, I have not tried any other wines from their portfolio, but drinking this makes it very easy to be able to jump into something that they have now. So I'm pleased. Jeff, what do you think?
I'm right there with you. I'm a little bit more of a wine connoisseur than Ron, but by no means an expert. I just enjoy great bottles of wine, and this certainly fits that bill. I would say on a rating scale, I'm telling you, it's gonna hit mid-90s again, which is fantastic scoring.
It hit the top. It was in the top 10 the
last
past
2
couple.
years.
Okay.
So last year it was number 7 out of the top 100 wines of the world for wine enthusiasts. That was the 2018 vintage last year. The vintage before that was 2017, and it was number 10. So 2 years in a row, it's been top 10 of their top 100 wines of the world. I mean, that speaks for itself. This is going to live up to that. Early on predictions, it's going to make it again. And most of those wines in that top 10 are well above this price point. I mean, that's how you know the drink's above this price.
And Paso Robles too is just they're just showing that they're able to hold their own with Napa Valley, Sonoma Valley. You guys know that there's some great wines coming out of Oregon, Washington State, Pinot Noirs, things like that. There are a lot of really good wines that North America is producing, and this is one of them too. So, hey man, I've enjoyed this, Jeff. Thank you again for stepping on and helping me with this video. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, been enjoying this pairing. I know I've had a couple people even reach out to me on Instagram when I first was talking about the 2018 vintage. I know some people showed or gave me some feedback that they're wise and they enjoyed it too. So, hey guys, that's what it's all about, is, you know, enjoying a good glass of wine, enjoying a good cigar, enjoying some good camaraderie. That's what it is all about. With that being said, before we get out of here again, wanted to mention this again. If you guys are local to the Memphis, Tennessee area, or if you ever visit in the area, make sure you stop by Yorkshire Liquor Stores on Quince, or you give them the address.
It's 5669 Quince.
5669 Quince. That is, and hell, who knows? Probably you pop in there, you might see me in there too. There's a good possibility of that. So make sure you guys are checking out Yorkshire Liquor Stores. And with that being said, y'all know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment. And don't forget to be driven, never motivated. We'll catch you on this next one. Y'all be safe and y'all be good. Peace.
Thanks for having me.